Dallas police armed volunteers with some pretty specific questions in tonight's search for Zoe Hastings' killer. Hello, everybody. I'm Heather Hayes.
I'm Steve Eager. It's 9 o'clock. The 18-year-old disappeared late Sunday afternoon on the way to a church meeting. Her body and white minivan were found Monday morning not far from the church and her home. Fox 4's Deanna Zoga at Norbuck Park in Dallas tonight, where police and searchers got organized. Deanna.
Yeah, Steve and Heather, volunteers met here tonight at the request of Zoe Hastings' family. In fact, Zoe's uncle Nick was the one who came up with this idea, and Dallas police got on board. So tonight, volunteers, family members got together, they prayed here, then broke out into small groups and started setting out to look for any new leads in this case.
Zoe was very special to me, my wife Katie, and our 3 children.
Standing in front of volunteers at Norbuck Park.
We will miss her immensely and appreciate your thoughts and prayers for our family.
Zoe Hastings' uncle talked briefly about his family's grief, then showed their determination in spite of it.
Thought about something.
How many do you have with you?
Extended family members and friends handed out nearly 170 packets to small groups of volunteers.
We're going over to Garland Road and Emerald Isle.
Who fanned out across Lake Highlands and the neighborhoods around the crime scene and Hastings' route to church the Sunday she disappeared.
If someone isn't safe leaving their home in broad daylight, going less than 1 mile to church, who is safe?
Jan Malay's group was assigned an area about a mile away from the Walgreens at Garland and Peavy Roads, where Hastings, in her white Honda Odyssey van, may have dropped off a red box movie.
We'll just knock and see what we can do.
They passed out informational bulletins and asked questions spelled out on a pre-printed form.
There's a lot of walkers.
Some of the volunteers knew Hastings from school, the YMCA, where she was a swim coach, or from around the neighborhood. They say they did not hesitate to show up and volunteer because the life taken from Zoe Hastings took something from them too.
Help the family by just showing that we all cared for her too, and hope that, something fruitful comes of it, because it's, at this point, it's made it a very scary, different place over a couple of days.
How can a mother protect her child any more carefully than knowing where she is at every moment, and still in a span of 15 minutes something like this happened? I just don't understand.
Dallas police today said that there were no significant updates to release in this case. There was a sergeant out here talking to volunteers. He just urged them to tell the public that there is no piece of information that is insignificant in the case. He also told them that extra detectives were working to try and find Zoe Hastings' killer. Back to you.
All right, Deanna, I assume you saw one of those questionnaires that they were circulating. Do you know that they were pretty specific questions they were asking people they came across? Do you know what they were?
We do. There are 2 questions that were listed on that questionnaire that people were asked to read off to folks as they met them. One, did you see Zoe Hastings, her white Honda Odyssey van, or anything suspicious Sunday from about 4:40 p.m. until Monday morning? The second question was specifically geared toward people who live near the crime scene. It just says, do you have any home security footage, anything that might have been rolling also in that time frame? Police want to take a look at that, even if it's something that someone in the general public wouldn't think is that important. Police did want to know if there is any footage to reach out and talk to those people. And Steve, those volunteers were asked to take down a name, an address, a phone number, and then call the detective working this case immediately if they came across any of that information. Back to you.
Okay, Deanna Zoga at Norbuck Park tonight. Thanks.